Side note, it has nothing to do with the movie. There was this lady sitting behind us. Yo, there was one point where someone said a really good joke, and she was like, "Oh hell no! Did he just fucking say that shit?" Like, bro, I was like, "What?"
Was that the same lady? She's like, "Oh Lord,
oh yeah, oh Lord,
oh Lord."
he did not just say that. Like, bro, I was dying, like, cause it was already so funny, and like her like
And
commentary,
her reaction.
dying. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of TretoWithOutARadio, the radio, A radio, B radio, ham radio. I'm your host with the most, Treto. You already know. This right here is Renee from the other day.
Oh, was I supposed to talk?
Oh yeah, I mean, I don't know, like sign language.
You know, when you see your buddy across the street, you're just like,
I feel you, bro. What's up? Nah.
that's all you need.
Yo, this episode is brought to you in courtesy of Renee.
Oh, find us on Facebook, YouTube, Spotify, SoundCloud.
That was dope. Yeah. Also, if you haven't noticed, we got a whole new angle. We bought this angle.
You gotta hit the angles.
From Drake? No. This podcast is for people that order Slurpees at the theater when they're really called ices. Bro, that happened to me. The lady was looking at me like, "What do you want?"
Oh, did you actually say the wrong thing?
Yeah. So I was waiting in line at the theater the other day, and I was like, the movie's about to start, and we got to go, right? So then I was like, "Oh, can I get a Slurpee?" And she's like, "I'm sorry, what?" And I was like, "Oh, a Slurpee." She's like, "Oh no, come again."
So she gave you a chance too.
She gave me like 3, and I was like, "Can I get a Slurpee?" No. And then finally, I was like, "Oh, I see. Can I get a medium?" She's like, "We only got one size." Like, it was a whole thing. Yeah, bro.
How
That's
did they
why
only have one size?
I walked back with the big ass cup. I don't know.
Yeah, I thought. So they only got one size.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, at least at that theater.
That's dumb as fuck.
I know. I was super excited though, because I was craving a fucking Slurpee for forever.
He was talking about it. We sat down. He was talking about it for like an hour, and then like 15 minutes before the movie starts, he's like, "You know what? Screw it. I'm gonna go get it."
For real, right?
I was getting worried. I was looking at the time. I was like, "Bro, he's gonna miss the movie."
Yeah, well, because we did a pre-screening for this movie we're about to talk about, but like you have to be there, like in your seat before the movie starts, or else they won't let you in. Like they don't fuck around. And yeah, like they played. Like I cut it close.
You cut it close, man.
Yeah, that's pretty dope.
I hope it was worth it.
It was. But yeah, Good Boys. For those of you that saw the title to this video, you're like, "Yo, what the hell is Good Boys?"
What if we call it like Bad Girls?
Oh, just throw them off completely?
No, people are gonna think it's a porn or something.
Yo, Bad Girls reviewing. That would be weird, right? That'd be like
1 hour porn review.
So yeah, although there was a lot of porn references in this movie that we're going to talk about.
That's true.
But yeah, Good Boys. We haven't done a movie review in quite a while, so I'm pretty excited, man.
Yeah, it's been a minute. I think this will be the first movie review of the season.
Wait, for real?
I think so.
Damn. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn, that's dope.
Get it while it's fresh.
No. Super fresh. So fresh that it comes out today.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So if you're debating, people are debating. They're at work right now. They're like, "Oh, what am I going to do after work?" Like, "Oh, maybe I'll go check out this movie that just came out."
Yeah.
Seth Rogen was a producer on it.
He was. The director was a writer on The Office.
Oh shit! Really?
Yeah. Gene Stupnitsky.
Oh yeah, Stepniski.
Yeah, Mr. Stupnitsky.
Stepniski.
Yeah, that is. He stubbed your Niski. I hate stubbing my Niski, bro. That shit hurts.
Bro, it hurts.
Yeah, but he was a writer on The Office, which I thought was really cool. And you're right, Seth Rogen was a part of the film.
Yeah, and then Seth Rogen's buddy, I forgot his name, but Evan something with an L.
Is that the guy he writes with all the time?
Yeah, that's like his writing buddy. So they wrote Superbad, they wrote fucking Sausage Party, Neighbors 1 and 2.
You're right.
They wrote like This Is the End, 50-50.
Is it weird that I kind of like could see it? Like now that we've seen the movie, it's like, oh, that makes sense.
It makes sense. You see the movie, like, oh yeah, it's Seth Rogen.
Yeah. Yeah. What I liked about this movie is the whole cast. Besides Lil Rel, they're like a lot of unknown actors.
Yeah, and, relatively small time people.
Yeah,
or at least you would think.
Oh, maybe.
No, I did some looking through IMDb as I do.
Right.
Most of the cast, I was like, okay, so you've been in nothing.
Wow, bogus. All right,
but
so you're fresh. No.
the main kid, Max, the smallest of the three,
Mm-hmm.
he was actually the kid in the Predator movie last year.
Oh, you're right.
The
The son,
the son, the not dyslexic. What was he?
the super smart kid. The
Yeah, but he had something.
well, he was nosy for fucking opening his dad's package. That's what it was. Nah.
No.
Yeah, you're right. That was him.
Yeah, so he was in that. So I feel like that's a pretty big movie, and he was arguably like the main plot point.
Yeah, he was a real big focus in the movie. Yeah.
But everyone else, they've been in a few things. I think one of the older girls in the movie, she's been in a handful of stuff.
What was her name?
Uh,
Holly. No.
Hannah.
Hannah. Yeah, there you go.
Hannah. Her name is Molly Gordon.
Oh snap.
So-
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, right. Her name's Molly.
Yeah.
Who would have thought?
Okay, so
Good
then
thing-
there's a couple in there that.
Yeah, good thing that wasn't a spoiler because they don't. Molly's not even noticed in the movie.
Yo, speaking of spoilers, if you've never seen one of our movie reviews, let me break it down real quick. We don't give anything away until the end. Second half
Second half of the
half of the movie?
episode, yeah.
Episode. Yeah.
Second half of the movie,
I know,
yeah,
right?
the movie's gonna give spoilers. No.
Well, yeah, that's true. But we don't give anything away. What we do give away is this, pretty much. Like,
Yeah, like the feel, like
Yeah.
where the actors are from, like kind of, what's the general vibe of the movie?
yeah. So if you're on the fence about watching it, just stick around and it's gonna be dope. It's gonna be cool.
We might convince you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess since most of the cast is kind of unknown, a lot of them are literally children. Like
Right.
I was looking it up, and a lot of them are like legit 12 years old. So they didn't have a chance to do much yet.
Well,
Is there like a certain performance or like a certain actor that stood out to you from the movie? Like they're like, damn, like this person was killing it or something.
Well, in the preview, I did notice that there was this little black kid, right?
Mhm.
And I was expecting him to be like super like funny,
Yeah.
but he was super funny, but just his role wasn't what I expected.
Well, you thought
So,
he was
like-
gonna be like the tough black kid?
Yeah, I thought he was gonna be like the outgoing kid, like like he's tough, he's tall, he's the tallest one out of the three.
Yeah.
But he's like a little bitch, like,
Yeah.
yeah. So that was cool. Like I didn't expect him to be what he was. But no, I mean they all did great. Like
Mhm.
this was the type of movie though, and I have this in my notes because I wanted to talk about it. When you watch these types of like comedies, you don't. Well, for me, I'm speaking for myself. I try not to like focus so much on their performance because it's mostly on like how they deliver the jokes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like these kids, I mean, especially since they're like 12, I didn't expect them to be like super good at like acting,
Yeah.
but more so like, okay, are they gonna make me laugh or not? You know what I'm
Okay.
saying?
And so you're
Yeah.
saying like they did both.
Oh yeah. Well, they
I was trying to give the kids props.
no, they were good. They were great.
No, they were they were good.
Well, yeah, they're all
I
right.
thought they did a really good job.
Yeah.
I thought all three of them, like, even though that, like they didn't really establish it in the movie, but like you felt their friendship, like you could.
Oh, yeah,
like, they
for sure.
were friends for a long ass time,
Yeah.
relatively speaking, because they're 12. But
True.
but like you could feel that, and even like in the movie, throughout the whole film, if they're like arguing with each other or they're like having fun together, it feels like they've been friends for a long time. You know, it doesn't feel kind of weird and disjointed.
Forced.
Yeah, kind of like I saw a bit from Hobbs and Shaw,
Oh, nice.
and that like the relationship between them felt kind of forced.
Well, yeah.
Like, well, yeah, I know, like that's the whole point. Like they didn't want to work together, and then they're working together, but it's still, even then, it didn't really, like they were just kind of talking shit about each other the whole time.
But it wasn't like a smooth like
Yeah.
shit talking.
Whereas even this one, where they're like ripping into each other, making fun of each other, like it feels natural.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. And I think that's dope. Also, since they're 12, there was a lot of times in the movie where I'm like, this makes sense. If I was 12,
Yeah.
this makes sense. Like, I don't know if that makes sense for you guys that haven't seen it yet, but like there's times where like they tell certain jokes or like they have ideas where they're like, this means this, and it's like, well, it does when you're 12. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah. Like,
yeah.
I get what you're saying.
Like, I mean, this was in the trailer where the little kids like they're trying to learn how to kiss.
Yep.
Yeah, and then he's like, "Oh man," and they didn't even kiss. Like, well, he did, but he didn't use his mouth. You know,
Yeah,
like
yep.
that makes sense because you're 12. You're like, you don't know what a blowjob is. You know,
Yeah,
like, yeah,
you're just kissing without a mouth.
right.
Yeah.
But shit like that is like it makes sense because they're 12, and I think the way they flow with each other, like
Yeah.
since they're all in the same age group, it kind of made sense.
Yeah, because nobody really knows anything. They're all just kind of
Yeah. It's true.
somehow like
Now I'm all thinking about it. No.
like somehow they still all don't know anything, even though they have the internet.
I know, right?
Like-
Like, dude, they have all these things that they could look up, and
Yeah.
they're just like, oh, let's just go.
It doesn't fucking you don't think about it. I guess.
So for those who haven't even seen the trailer, and we're just digging deep. I got this off of I think like a website or something, pretty much a synopsis. 3 sixth grade boys ditch school and embark on an epic journey while carrying accidental stolen drugs.
Yeah. And I didn't even from the one trailer that I saw, I didn't even know that was part of the thing.
Yeah, but I want to talk about that because do you think if accidental stolen drugs, do you think if that wasn't included with their like bit, they wouldn't have like an actual like storyline?
Yeah, I get you, huh? I think it plays into like that was probably one of the items that they came up with when they were like writing the plot for the movie.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, oh, we gotta get him here. So how do we do that? Stolen drugs, like
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah, because then that pushes the whole movie.
Yeah, it moves the movie forward, which I thought it did a good job at moving the plot forward.
Mm-hmm.
Because initially this is gonna be vague because I don't want to spoil anything, but initially they're trying to go towards one thing.
They have a goal.
They have a goal, and originally it's simple. There's like we go and that's it.
Yeah.
We finish our goal, but then it gets more complicated. Like all right, now we got to do this so that we can do this so that we can get to the goal, and then
Right.
eventually by the end of the movie it's like we got to do like 17 different things just so we can do the goal that was super simple like 12 hours ago.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's the cool part because it's like all these like different obstacles, you know.
Yeah, so like all
They
these
have to jump
all
through.
these little things that they had to jump through, which like when you're watching the movie doesn't sound ridiculous, but when you think about it after the fact, you're like, there's no way this would fucking happen, you know?
Yo, these 12-year-old kids, there's
Yeah.
no way, yeah.
And then there's a character in the movie too that kind of represents that in the movie.
Okay.
And I guess we'll talk about that when we get into spoilers, but I thought that was really funny how if you hadn't seen it start to finish, like if you walked in like halfway through the movie, you're like, what there's no way there's any of this can happen.
Like, how old are these kids? There's no way.
Yeah. But I thought that was cool. And the one way that I really described it that it stuck to me, and especially because it's Seth Rogen and his boy Evan writing it, is it's basically Superbad, but in 2016 or 2016.
Ooh.
It's
fucking 3
Superbad,
years
but
ago?
in 2019, and the kids are younger. Because in Superbad they were in high school, right?
Yeah.
They were graduating high school, I think.
Yeah, they were seniors, yeah.
And so this time they're going into middle school, so they're sixth graders.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, it's super bad, but the kids are younger, and it's now.
It's like a revamped Superbad if you think
Yeah.
about it. Which I have
Oh.
that in my notes. Like I haven't seen a movie as funny as since Superbad.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That was actually the part that I forgot. The girl Molly, whatever her last name was,
Sure.
she was in the movie Booksmart as well.
Oh, she was?
Yeah,
No shit.
yeah, she was AAA or something like that.
Okay. I don't know who the fuck that is.
I don't know.
No.
She was one.
Sounds
of
like
the
a battery.
characters.
No.
I'm a battery.
Oh. She's just there? No. Hey, what's up with your battery? No.
I don't know, man. They got it at the aftermarket.
Nah, it's running low. But yeah, no, I was saying I haven't seen a movie as funny since Superbad. Like
Yeah.
there was 90% of the movie I was just cracking up. Like
Right.
I even felt bad for laughing because there's a lady sitting next to me. I was like, yo, I'm being way too loud right now, but this shit's hilarious. But also speaking of goals, real quick, going back to that, do you think that these kind of goal-driven movies started with like Harold and Kumar, or were they already like just a thing already?
Yeah. that's a
Because
good
like
question.
the movies, like goal-driven movies, like Superbad, they have to like
They have to get the
the
beer so
liquor.
that they can go to the party.
right, or like Harold and Kumar, they got to get to White Castle.
Right.
Just like comedies like that. Like, do you think that they started with Harold and Kumar, or was it already like a thing?
I think that's probably where it got popular again, but I think those type of movies have always been a thing. And then especially like if you really break it down, because I was thinking about this the other day, because apparently half of my YouTube recommended things are just like video analysis of TV shows and movies.
Jesus, is that all you watch?
Okay. That's what all YouTube thinks I watch. So
Oh,
it's like it's that, and then it's like Vines. Like that's the two recommendations.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's like the most basic film story. It's called the Hitler. No,
Oh, the Hitler has eyes.
the Hitler Has Eyes.
Yeah.
No, the hero's journey.
Okay.
So like the whole point of that is there's a character, he wants something, he has to go on a journey, and then he gets what he wanted, and he finishes off as a better person because he went through what he had to go through.
Oh, okay.
And like
damn, you just explained like a whole shitload of movies.
yeah, and that's one of like I think it's called like one of the 6 type of movies.
Oh,
Because like every movie can be broken down into one of those 6, and that's what all these break down into. So like Harold and Kumar, they want to go to White Castle. They have to go on a journey, and they have to change and expand and become better people.
Yeah.
Because at the end they get the White Castle, but they also became better people because of the journey.
Right. Yeah.
And then like Superbad, they have to get the beer, and at the end they get the beer, but they become better people because of the journey. And better people like subjective, like McLovin got laid. That was basically his journey.
He's the better person now. No.
And so that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And that's what this movie kind of boils down to at the end too.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Yeah, I didn't know that was a thing. Like,
Yeah, and that's like across the board. That's like some of the most successful things. Like, Community is an example. Like Dan Hartman.
okay.
He was one of the writers and main producers for Community, and that was his go-to thing. Like, if you make an episode around this idea, it's gonna be a good episode.
Okay.
And then now that's what he does with Rick and Morty too. And Rick and Morty is like one of the most popular TV shows.
Well, yeah, there's
right
always
now.
a journey in
Exactly,
yeah.
and it always follows that same pattern. And then it's cool because like some of the analysis that I've seen, like the bad episodes of Rick and Morty are the ones that don't follow that pattern, and so it's cool because you can just pinpoint like, oh, this is gonna suck.
It's all over the place.
No. Yeah.
Yeah. Damn, that's dope. Well, shit, there goes half of my notes. No.
Oh fuck! Never mind. Forget what I just said.
All right. Well.
No, I do agree with you that like I was basically laughing start to finish.
Oh yeah.
And I can't
100%.
I can't really think of the last movie that I saw in theaters where I was laughing the whole time.
Titanic.
Oh, that movie was hilarious.
Bro, when everyone started falling from the boat.
Bro, when she's like, I've waited so long.
What?
No. He's like, draw me like one of your French girls. I was cracking up in the back. No.
Get off of my floaty thing. Bro, she just get off.
Stop.
Classic. Wow, get off.
Yeah, so
What,
I
he's
thought
just
it
dying?
was I thought it was really funny start to finish, and bro, let me tell you, I was so happy that this movie was like an hour and a half long.
Mm-hmm.
Because like the last 2 movies that I seen in theaters before this was Endgame and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Ooh.
And those are both 2 hours and 40 minutes.
Yeah.
So like, they're both good movies, but there gets a point like 2 hours into it where I'm just sitting there, I'm like,
Oh wow, you're just
fidgeting.
Yeah.
Like, your fucking ass hurts because you've been sitting in the same seat for so long.
yeah.
So
Damn.
this one, it was so nice when like before the movie started and I looked at the runtime. I was like, oh god, like it's like a normal movie length. Because I feel like a bunch of movies are now they're like close to 3 hours, and I bet you our movies are gonna be 3 hours pretty soon. Like that's gonna be normal.
That's gonna be the norm, yeah.
Yeah.
Which is true because this movie flew by like super quick. But even then, though, I was just laughing for the whole thing. No.
Yeah.
It was like a mixture of like drinking my Slurpee and like laughing and like drinking,
drinking Slurpee, laughing, drinking Slurpee all over the floor. No.
Did you like that Hollywood? Once Upon a Time in Hollywood? Was it good?
I did.
Bless him.
Bless me. No.
Wow.
Well, I'm all telling them.
Right?
No, I thought it was a good movie, but I felt like I was watching the extended version of the movie.
Okay.
Because, I mean, and then you can make the argument that, yeah, it plays into the pacing and the world building and all this.
Yeah.
But a lot of it, I feel like you didn't really... Like, you could have made a shorter movie and showed that in theaters. And then you could have had the extended version, like, when it comes out on Blu-ray or whatever. You know?
Damn. Yeah.
And I don't know, maybe it would have made the movie do better for like the more like the casual audience, because I know critics love the shit out of the movie.
Yeah, I was gonna say it got a lot of good ratings.
Yeah,
So.
and I agree. Like I see where they're coming from, but there's a lot of parts like Al Pacino's in the movie, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he's in it for like maybe 15, 20 minutes. Honestly, you didn't even need him. You didn't need his character.
The budget just went up. No.
Yeah, the budget went up, and like his character didn't really do anything that important. I guess can I spoil a different movie in a movie?
I don't know. Have you guys seen it? I mean,
Have you seen it at this point?
Because I haven't seen it, but I'm probably not gonna watch it.
I feel like I feel like anybody who wanted to see it has seen it.
Would see it by now. Yeah.
Yeah. So Al Pacino's character, he's in it near the beginning for like 15 minutes, and then he shows up for another 5 minutes in the back half of the movie.
Okay.
But he shows up and he's having a sit-down lunch meeting with Leonardo DiCaprio's character, and he's telling him, he's like, hey, you're basically washed up, you know? Because at this point in his career, he's just doing a bunch of random TV spots, like 1 episode, 2 episodes here or there.
Yeah.
And he's always cast as the bad guy. So, you know, he gets the beat shit out of him. No.
Oh, the beat shit out of him. No.
He gets the shit beat out of him by, like, the good guy, because the good guy wins in TV shows.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, you know, you're like at the end of your career. If you keep on doing stuff like this, people are gonna eventually see you as the guy who gets beaten up all the time. Like the public opinion is gonna change, and like, you know, you're not gonna be able to get any actual good roles. You know, and it was basically him telling like, hey, you're done. Like you should just retire.
So they could have just left that whole thing up.
Yeah, like I feel like that whole 15-minute scene, because it was just them straight up sitting like us talking.
Yeah.
And I feel like that whole scene could have been like he turns on the TV and like it comes up on the news or something, or like a tabloid, or he sees it on a magazine, and it could have been like 2 minutes and it would have had the same effect.
Just a quick like, you're washed up, get out.
Right, like like the same thing, and it would have cut down at the beginning of the movie where like it was dragging on, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't sound like a good movie.
But so like that's more like one example where like I feel like you're watching the extended cut.
Yeah.
But the payoff at the end, I think, is totally worth it. Like I don't know if most of the reviews that I've seen like reference the ending of the movie specifically.
No.
Well, like that ending makes it so worth it.
Oh, because he like spoiled. No, I haven't seen it, so maybe he gets a role in the movie, right? And then he's like this big shot, and then
well, that's like in the middle of the movie, but yeah.
Oh, there's still more.
There's still more after that.
Yeah, no.
Like, nah,
Yeah,
I'm
it's
out.
way too many Slurpees. I'm out.
Wow, imagine you got to go up and get another Slurpee.
Right, you gotta get a refill.
But yeah, so point being, I'm glad that they didn't try to drag out this movie.
Yeah, because that would like. I mean, with a comedy, you can't really exceed more than like an hour and a half. I think.
Yeah.
Because then it's just like repetitive, and like how many sex jokes can you make in an hour? And, like 2 hours.
And that's where I was coming from, where I was gonna get to with the type of comedy that it is, because it's, you know, the same type of comedy as Superbad, and that's really the only example I could think of, because the kid was drawing fucking penises in his notebook.
Yeah.
But it's like the same type of comedy. So like I feel like the longer you make it, the less impactful that the jokes are.
Right.
And you have to keep on upping the ante.
And then like you're just expecting them to.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think they did a good job by making it short, because I think the long shot was like, that was actually 2 hours, I think.
Was it?
I think it was actually a 2-hour movie. But
Okay.
I feel like in that one, that's a perfect example of how they kept on changing it up and like doing different things, so it kept it from getting boring.
Yeah.
But like this one, you knew from the beginning, the end of the movie was, we're going to this party.
Right. Well, what I noticed is that if these kids were older, these jokes wouldn't have been as funny.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
You know, because even with Superbad, like they were funny, but then again, that was like what 10, 12 years ago.
Yeah, you were
So like they
age of
were
the kids in the movie.
Yeah, they were like fresh, you know, like
Yeah.
they were. Now it's like it's been done so many times that I think if they were older, these kids would have like been kind of like washed up.
Yeah, so that added to like the shock factor of it, I guess.
Yeah. But I mean, overall, that movie was funny as fuck. No.
Yeah, overall, I'd say go watch
Yeah.
it. I think it's worth the money. Like if you pay 10, 12, 15 bucks.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it's not something that you're going to spend a whole bunch of money to like see at an IMAX or like in 3D or something, you know?
Right.
It's not that type of movie.
And again, you're not expecting like an Oscar-winning like performance, like
Yeah.
you know, like don't expect like the best like
It's not going to be Once
Action
Upon a
stuff.
Time in Hollywood.
yeah, you know, like don't expect any of that, but do expect to just laugh your ass
Yeah,
off.
like expect it's gonna be a good time, start to finish. You're gonna enjoy it. I don't think you're gonna walk out like disappointed by the
No,
movie.
not at all. And I think like in today's like well this summer in particular, like there's been so many like movies that you're just expecting so much from them.
Yeah.
Like Avengers, like we all expected it to be great.
Right.
Like they had no room for like disappointment. Lion King, we all were having great expectations for it because it's a remake of a legendary movie. Shit, even like Aladdin, you know, like there's so many like dope movies this summer where we're all like, yo, this is gonna be good. This one was more like, if it's good, it's good. If it's not, fuck it. I mean, for
Right.
us it was free, nah. But you know what I'm saying, like, but if it's not, it's like, all right, it's not a big deal because it's not anyone big.
Right. Like it's
So I think that was like the perfect setup.
yeah. So I think that's good. I mean, did you have anything else that you want to talk about before we're getting into like spoilers?
Yeah. Right off the bat, the first 5 minutes of the movie, I was like, yo, what the fuck? This shit is stupid as shit. So, yo, the first 5 minutes, just relax. Like, it's stupid,
Just
but
let it roll.
just let it play out. But yeah, other than that, I'm ready for the spoilers now.
I don't know. What were the first 5 minutes?
When he's sitting on the bed and like
Oh,
his dad comes in.
Yep.
Yeah.
I remember that now. I actually forgot about that part.
Yeah. It was stupid. Nah.
All right. No, yeah, but I'd say go watch it. It's really funny. I was laughing the whole time.
Yeah.
So,
And if you don't care about spoilers, yo, sit tight because we're about to dive in this. Like,
yeah, that's true. But then I feel like if you really want to watch it, you should go watch it first because I feel like
Yeah.
a lot of the jokes aren't gonna hit the same the second time.
come back and watch this on Monday.
Yeah. So like in the trailer, perfect example on the trailer, there's a scene where the kids are on their bikes and they're watching like teenagers, I guess, make out, and then when the guy turns around, it's like, hey, what do you say? Hey, Stranger Things, go fuck yourself, right?
Because they're all on their bikes?
Yeah, because they're all on their bikes. And when I saw that initially in the trailer, I laughed because I thought it was funny.
Yeah.
And I was watching Stranger Things at the time.
Oh, so it's perfect.
It was perfect. But then that same scene showed up in the movie, and I don't think anybody in the theater laughed.
No, they probably all saw the trailer.
Yeah.
No.
So things like that, I think you might ruin a little bit for yourself.
Yeah.
So I guess proceed with caution.
Side note, it has nothing to do with the movie. There was this lady sitting behind us. Yo, there was one point where someone said a really good joke, and she was like, "Oh hell no! Did he just fucking say that shit?" Like, bro, I was like, "What?"
Was that the same lady? She's like, "Oh Lord,
oh yeah, oh lord,
oh Lord."
he did not just say that. Like, bro, I was dying. Like, cause it was already so funny, and like
Yeah.
her like
And
commentary,
her reaction.
dying. So yeah, guys. Just go with like good humored people if you go, because this shit is about to be funny.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I guess don't expect it to be the type of movie you could watch at Sunday school.
Yeah, like if you have a friend that's kind of like, you can't really like, I don't know, talk about dicks in front of.
You can't make like lowbrow humor with them.
Yeah, like that. Just go by yourself. Nah.
You probably have a good time.
Shit, we'll go with you. Nah.
You down?
All right, guys, we'll be right back. Just stay tuned, and we're gonna get into the spoiler. This is your spoiler warning. Yeah. Anything else, Renee? I think we're good, right?
No, I think we're good.
All right, cool. We'll be right back. Welcome back, guys. If you haven't already heard the news,
What news? Go ahead, tell me.
yo, we're really bad at this. You sure this is our podcast? Yeah. Yo, spoilers right now.
I like how you got it super serious. Like spoilers.
Spoiler. I don't want to hear it.
I
No.
want to hear it. You know, there's spoilers. It's gonna be spoilers,
Go watch the movie.
and then come back and laugh with us.
Laugh with us. Yo, but I feel like, man, like, dude, this movie's too funny for them to be missing out on this part right now. Like, I kind of wish they have seen it with us, you know? Like,
So we could have just pulled up.
Yeah,
the
bro,
whole-
like-
bought out the whole theater.
bro, just, yo, TretoWithOutARadio takes over Cinemark. Like,
Cinemark.
yeah, Cinemark, right?
fuck
That's a
is-
theater, right?
Well,
Cinemax?
It's not the theater we went to.
We went to
Cinemark.
ABC.
ABC.
Yeah, we went to ABC, Channel 7.
ABC theaters.
Yeah. No. Yo, but for real though, oh man, I can't wait for this right now because this movie's too funny to not talk about. So
Yeah.
again, just if you haven't seen it, I'm sorry. But yo,
All right, go
how
ahead.
funny was this fucking movie, dude? Holy shit.
There was a lot of good scenes. I have one that I don't want to bring up just yet, but like start to like even I know you were talking about how like the first 5 minutes you thought were kind of dumb. I thought they were like really. It was like so awkward that it was funny.
Oh, it was
Where,
super
like,
awkward.
One of the main kid, Max, he's like about to jerk off to like I don't even he was making a character in a game and he's
Like
gonna jerk off to it.
Like a Warcraft game?
Yeah, like a Warcraft game. And I was like, bro, you're on a laptop. You have the internet.
Yo, that goes to show you that these 12-year-old kids really don't know, like, yeah, because he was like, so in the his character, you could like make it like a female, so he made it a female.
Yeah.
Then you can make it like thicker, so she went thicker, and then you could change the outfit, so he put on some like
a skimpy ass.
yeah, like a skimpy. So it's like this like warlock, like half human, half like alligator,
like, lizard thingy. Yeah.
Oh, it was so funny. And then he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm about to like jerk off."
He's about to get it in, and then
it was
like,
stupid.
His dad walks in and like trying to have a conversation with him, and eventually his dad pieces it together. It's like, oh,
yeah.
And he's like, "I'm proud of you, son." Like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Like,
so then he's like, "Come here, give me a hug." And like the kid was like, "Oh, no, I'll give you 2 hugs when you come back." Like,
oh, bro.
Yeah, dude, that shit was so stupid. No, but the first 5 minutes, I felt like I didn't know what to expect, so I felt like the whole movie was gonna be a drag. Because I thought it was gonna be like, oh man, this is like going too
like
slow,
awkward comedy type thing.
Yeah. And then once they link up with the fucking Beanbag Boys,
Beanbag Boys,
yeah, which is well, you guys know if you've seen it, the crew, yeah. Once they linked up, I was like, all right, they're funny as fuck.
Yeah, they work well together.
Yeah.
Like I should have mentioned that actually in the first part of the movie.
You want to go back?
Yeah, no, the 3 main characters, Lucas, Thor, and Max.
Yeah,
they work really good as a group. Like the Beanbag Boys together are legit.
Yeah,
but like how you said in the beginning of the movie when he's by himself, and the other parts where they're like by themselves at their own homes or whatever, they're kind of boring.
Yeah, no, I agree. Like one thing that just right off the top right now when you were talking about it, when Max is getting invited to the party, and he's asking like, "Yo, can I bring my friends? Like we do everything together." And the kids, like the little Asian kids, like, "I don't know, man. They're kind of just random." And then they look back at them, they're just
like,
dancing.
They're dancing. They're like,
like how random are they? Like, dude, that's so funny. Like. They're just
having
so,
the time of their lives.
Yeah, they just work so well together. Like,
well, one thing that I did want to mention that I forgot to mention in the beginning, which might have been a spoiler, maybe that's why I didn't mention it. Max's dad, it bothered me for a really long time because he looked familiar to me and I didn't know from where or from what.
He did look a little familiar, yeah.
And so I pulled him up on IMDb, and because in the movie he's got short hair, he's got like a buzz cut kind of.
Right.
And in his IMDb picture, he's got longer hair. And when I saw that, I was like, "That's who you are."
Wait. Can I guess?
Go ahead.
Is he on a show?
Yeah. Well, he's been on a lot of shows, but he's been on one particular show.
Is it on Netflix?
It is on Netflix.
Does he play a dad?
No.
Is he in a suit?
Sometimes.
I got it.
All right.
I have no idea.
I thought you were.
Nah, I know. I'm trying to like pinpoint him. Can I get a clue?
He wears a suit. He gets nosebleeds a lot.
Nosebleeds.
Mm-hmm. So like he can't afford like the cheap tickets, but he always wants to go to the game.
Oh wow! No, so he's sitting all the way up. No, yeah, I have no idea, bro.
So he actually played a small character in How I Met Your Mother. He no, look at you,
Nosebleed
like
Jim.
You were gonna get it.
Nah, he was the bartender at the bar.
No, but he does show up at the bar. He plays. I think his name was Randy. He was the guy who worked with Barney, who like loved Barney, like idolized him.
Oh,
and he Marshall fires him eventually, and he uses the severance package to make his own beer that's called Warm Piss.
Yeah. Okay.
Right? No,
yeah.
That's the joke. No.
Wow.
And he ends up sleeping with Robin one day, like at a Halloween thing where Robin's dressed up as a nurse and he's dressed up as a lobster.
Slutty Pumpkin?
Yeah, she was there.
Wow. Yeah.
But no, that's where I knew him from.
Oh, okay. Oh shit. Okay, then that would have bugged me too.
It bugged me for a long time. So a little side note. It is kind of cool how all these characters that like played all these people, they're humans.
They're humans, Renee. Jesus.
All these people who played small roles in like How I Met Your Mother are like showing up in other shows now or movies that I've seen, and
Yeah.
like it's cool because like I see them and like, where do I know you from? And then it'll click. So like over this weekend, one of the people I was hanging out with, when we got to his place, he was watching Working Moms on Netflix.
Okay.
And I had seen like the trailer for it on Netflix, just scrolling through, and I was like, oh, it looks kind of interesting. It looks funny. And he was watching like the last 5 minutes of an episode, and I was watching it, and I was like, I know that person from somewhere.
Oh shit.
And originally I thought it was the Slutty Pumpkin, but it's not the Slutty Pumpkin. It was a different girl that Ted dated.
Oh, okay.
And so she was there, and then like in a different Netflix movie, the girl that Barney almost married, Quinn,
Sure.
the stripper. All right. Well, she was.
I gotta rewatch this. Yeah.
She was. See, that goes to show you how many times I've seen this show.
I know. Jesus Christ.
She was in another movie. She played like a surrogate mom or something.
Oh, okay.
And like it's weird how they like.
Yeah.
There was so many random girls in that TV show that now like they're all sorts of places.
What's super weird though is that how good you remember the B characters. You know, like
that's what
the
happens.
small role characters.
That's what happens after you watch the same show 7 times.
That's true. Well, that is true because the freaking IT guy from The Office, he's actually Jess's boyfriend in the New Girl.
Yep, he is.
Yeah.
There you go. See, it's like that.
Right, yeah.
But like
yo,
on
speaking of New Girl, real quick. I know we're getting off topic. I was at the at this house music fest this weekend. And shout out to Remax House Music. It was super dope. But we were chilling, right? I mean, I'm not trying to flex or anything, but we're chilling VIP. And we're there.
Flexing.
Yo, free Lagunitas. It was great. And then in the corner of my eye, there's this guy, this black guy, right? Just chilling, drinking his beer, like having a good time.
It was Winston.
Bro, yeah, exactly.
Oh,
so,
really?
No, listen. Shit. So then my brother's wife goes, "Oh my God, that's totally different. What's Winston's cat?"
Compton.
What?
Ferguson.
Ferguson.
I knew it was a bad town.
All right, well, it wasn't even Ferguson. She goes, "Oh, that's this guy," and I knew who she was talking about because it looks so much like him. But then I was like, "No, his name's Winston." Yo, we were about to go up to this poor guy, and we were about to be like, "Yo, we love you," and
Bro,
that
you
show.
probably would have loved it.
Horrible. That wasn't even him, and yeah, so we almost ran into Winston.
There you
But,
it wasn't even him, but we almost ran into him.
Yo, okay, but let's get back to this movie real quick because I'm super excited to tell everybody how funny it is, and I want to talk about the quotes in the movie before we actually get into the whole premise.
There was a lot of quotes.
There
and
was
I read a handful of them too before we started. Yeah, so like,
should we just sprinkle them in then, and then like talk about them when we get there?
All right, so like this one was one of my favorites from Thor. Does this look like a sippy cup to you? No, it's a fucking juice box. It's because I'm not a fucking child. It was cause, like they were making fun of him because in the movie he didn't want to take a sip of beer.
Yeah,
and even that scene alone was ridiculous because like they had like one like warm ass beer.
Oh my! And they were hiding like in the woods.
Yeah. They were like drinking it in the woods and like taking a sip of beer like made you so cool,
bro. And then I like how they're like, yo, the what is it called? Fucking what am I trying to say right now? I'm having like a seizure right now. He's like, yo,
Caesar
like
salad?
this guy took 3 sips. Like you can't beat that, you know? Like
Yeah.
that's like the top one. And then they're like all taking a sip, and then Max, he takes a sip before Thor.
Yeah.
So he takes like this stupid, like he didn't even drink it, like
baby sip.
little baby sip, and he's like, oh man, and he gives it to Thor, and he's like, hey, be careful, man, it's really hot, like it burns.
That part made me laugh so hard because like they're drinking a warm beer, you know?
Yeah, dude, that shit was so funny. But then they started calling him Sippy Cup. Yeah, you're right.
Because he was a baby because he didn't want to drink the beer.
I like Thor's role in the whole movie, especially with his like his he's trying to like be this popular kid, and he's trying to like roll with like the cool kids. That whole thing, like as a 12-year-old, it could like make you or break you, bro. Like depending on who you hang out with. Yeah. And then the fact that he was a really good singer too, like, and they're making fun of him, and he immediately was like, "Yo, I'm not singing anymore."
Yeah.
Like that's out of the question. You know?
Yeah. Like he crossed his name out. He didn't even fucking sign up for the audition.
Which he was really good at singing.
He was really good.
Yeah.
One part that I really liked that stood out to me was how like the main like the bad guys of the film were what ended up being the Asian kid's older sister and her friend.
Oh, right.
Because they were just trying to get their Molly or no, their ecstasy.
The teenage girls, the Molly. Yeah.
It was Molly.
Yeah. Because they do that joke about Molly.
Oh yeah. They were trying to get their Molly back that the kids had stolen.
Yeah.
And it was just so funny how they were just trying to get their shit so they could go to the Kendrick Lamar concert.
I know. I thought that was so random.
Like that was their whole motivation, but like they were like the bad guys in the movie because they were chasing the kids down.
Yeah.
That and then I felt like there was a handful of points in the movie where like they made jokes or things that I thought were jokes and nobody laughed. Like they just kind of went unrecognized. And there was one specifically where I laughed really hard and nobody else laughed, and then it made me laugh even harder because apparently that's where people draw the line.
What was it?
It was like after they went to the skate park for the first time, and Lucas's parents were messaging him, and he was like, "Ooh, he was all excited. He was like, "Oh, hell yeah, we're gonna have like vegetarian lasagna or some shit," you know? It was some type of lasagna.
Yeah.
And then it cuts to him at home, and he's like, "Ooh, I got vegetarian lasagna and soda."
Yeah.
He's like, "Ooh, I'm a bad man," or whatever he says. And he's all excited, he's like having the time of his life. And then his mom just super blunt is like, "We're getting a divorce."
Yeah. He's like,
what? And then like as soon as she said that, I started laughing. Like I broke out laughing, and like nobody near me was laughing.
Wow.
And so I started laughing harder.
So everyone was like, "Oh, that's fucked up," but you were just dying. Like
I thought it was one of the funniest moments of the whole film.
Yeah, that was actually pretty good.
But like everyone else wasn't laughing. I was like, "You guys were laughing at dick jokes like 2 minutes ago. What happened?"
There was
we found the line.
Yeah, there was a line where you just don't cross, and that was actually pretty funny because in that scene they're explaining it to him like, "Oh, like we'll still watch whatever show."
Yeah,
This
like
is
that's a family show.
That's a family show, but now we just watch it at two different houses. And he's like,
you watch it on 2 TVs.
Yeah, just 2 TVs, and it's like, well, now you watch it on Tuesday and Wednesday. It's like,
yeah, you got Taco Tuesday on Tuesday and on Wednesday.
He's like, well, now you just watch the same episode twice.
Like, because they were like trying to make him feel better, but it wasn't happening.
It was just breaking him down, man. Oh, and then like soon right after that, I mean, if you've seen this, you're dying right now. But like, they cut to like their choir, and like they're all singing a happy ass song.
He's just crying.
He's just crying, like, dude, it's the happiest song, and he's just dying, like.
But at the end, he's like, this song always gets to me. So there was that, and then
that shit was so funny.
There was a few other moments too where like I started laughing, and like not that many people were laughing, and I wish I could remember, but like the one about the divorce really stuck in my head because it was really quiet.
That shit was so funny.
Another part was like near the end of the movie where when Max gives the girl that he likes the necklace.
Oh my god!
But like he didn't actually have the necklace that he made for her, so he gave her anal beads.
Yeah, he gave her anal beads, hard as fuck.
And like, I like when she was like putting it on, and she's like she was like gonna, because it smelled like shit, you know.
She's like, I'll just put this on later.
I'll put it on. And then like he was like, yeah, they're how do you say, like they're anal beads. Anal beads.
Yeah, that's so stupid. Even when they when they were gonna sell the card to that guy online, he's like, well, here, I got us some weapons, and they were all sex toys. So then they open the door to the guy, and he's like, hey, I'm here. And then he's like, what the hell? And then he's all like strapped up with the leather like face.
The leather face. He's got like the fucking whip thing.
He has the whip, and he has like the dildo and stuff. And he's like, ooh, it's nunchucks, you know? Like, yeah. Bro, that shit was so funny, man. I think again, as a 12-year-old, they really they probably know, but like in the movie, the characters really didn't know what they were like touching, you know,
what it
like,
was.
Yeah, and like as I said in the beginning, the writers made it known that like they put you in a 12-year-old perspective, right? And I thought that was like the best part of the movie because if these 12-year-olds would have been like, oh, I got anal beads, like I got a dildo, like it wouldn't have been as funny.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like
part of the humor was like their innocence with it.
Their innocence, exactly. Yeah. Even so much where when they run into the cop at the Quickie Mart. What the
At the
fuck?
Quickie-
What is this, Springfield? Why
the
do you say
Quickie
Quickie Mart?
I don't. You had SpongeBob. You
Oh,
had the Simpsons on your mind.
At the corner store or whatever.
Yeah.
And the cop's just having a horrible day, man. And like
Yeah.
these guys are like, "Yo, it's a cop! Like, you know, he's onto us.
He's
Like, he's
onto
looking
us.
at us. He's like, just act normal, start laughing." He's like, yeah, so how do you feel about politics? Like, what?
He's like, that is a serious subject.
But like, what 12-year-olds are talking about politics? You know, like, so stupid. So then the cop looks over at him and he's just like, all right, whatever. And then they just keep adding to it.
They keep on making it worse for themselves.
Bro, that shit was so funny.
And the cop, that was actually the character that I mentioned earlier, where it's like they had the one character that kind of came into it like halfway through the story. And so he's like, oh, so you guys... Oh, actually, they did it twice now that I think about it. They did it once in the middle with the cop where he's like, oh, so you guys have drugs. And like he was like, you didn't believe him, you know?
Oh,
He's
yeah.
like, you guys have drugs because you're trying to get to the mall that's 4 miles away that you have to do because your dad's drone got stolen by some girls who want their drugs and to go to a concert. And it's like, yeah, all right. Like he didn't believe any of it, you know?
Yeah. Fucking Lucas just spilled everything. Like,
And then they did it again at the end of the movie when Lucas is just telling everything to his parents. And like his parents didn't believe a single word of it. It was like, all right, I know you're lashing out, you're making stuff out because you want attention.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, this is what really happened. And like they didn't believe him because who the fuck is gonna believe him?
right.
You know?
But that was so funny how he was like, all the other kids were like, yo, all right, like I'm grounded, you know. And the other mom was like, oh, can you believe this? Max did this?
Yeah.
And then you just cut to Lucas. He's like, oh, man, but then there was like, you know, dildos and shit,
There's
like
dildos
crossing the
everywhere.
highway. Bro, that shit was so funny. But going back to the cop real quick, did you kind of get like a comparison that at that moment I felt like it was a really big comparison to the scene where McLovin's going to buy beer and he runs into the cops.
Yeah, yeah.
And they have that whole like
introduction or
Yeah.
like they're like giving him a hard time.
yeah, I felt like that was super close. I think the closest to
So, like,
Superbad. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was like the closest they got to that.
But they still made it work though. Like
Yeah,
Even,
it was
like-
different enough.
Thor hiding the beer in his pants.
Oh my god.
He's like, what is that? Like my penis? Like,
He's like,
take it out.
Take it out. And he's all mad. He's like, I also have a big dick.
Yeah.
Like,
bro, that shit
but
was
like
so
little
funny.
stuff like that, how they like insult each other and like the little nicknames and all that.
Yeah.
Like I thought that was really cool. How, how you said it puts you in that perspective of like a 12-year-old.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's just like again, there's all these little things. Even like when they're running through the highway, trying to get to the other side to get to the mall.
Yeah.
That was so funny because they were literally in a traffic jam and they stopped to talk. And as soon as they stopped, like all the traffic
All the
started
traffic
going.
cleared up.
Dude, I mean that part was a little bit like okay, like I mean I get it's a movie, they could get away with it, but Max just starts running and he makes it. And he's like, "Oh man, I'm alive," you know.
Yeah.
And then like fucking Lucas runs and he makes it. And then Thor is like, they're all trying to hype him up, like, "Come on,
Yeah.
you got it." And then at one point, like they cut back to like Max and Lucas, and like Max is on his back. He's like, "Come on, bro, you got it!" Like,
When did that happen?
Right.
The camera cut for like 2 seconds.
dude, that shit was so funny, and it reminded me. Even in the theater, I was like, "Yo, that's funny." I remember a Jake and Amir episode where like it cuts to like Jake, and then you go back to Amir, and he's wearing like sunglasses.
Sunglasses all of a
Yeah,
sudden,
he
yep.
comes back, and they're gone. Like what?
It's like, how do you do that so fast?
Yeah, I don't know, just like a
Uh,
quick Jake and Amir reference. But
Yeah, for people that don't know, Jake and Amir is a web series that was done by a guy named Jake and a guy named Amir when they worked at College Humor. Like
yeah,
10 years ago.
yeah,
now.
that was a long ass time
a
ago.
long time ago. You should check it out if you like watching like short version sketch shows.
Yeah, it's all they were all sketches, really.
Yeah, they're like maybe 8 minutes long at
And
the
they're
most.
super funny. Like you would definitely crack up on some of them.
But back to
Yeah.
we keep on getting distracted from the actual movie that we're talking
It's just
about.
like comedy's so much like there's so many things that have been done with it, and it's like it reminds you of so many things,
Yeah.
you know. Even for instance, when so they go to this frat house, right?
Oh,
And they were
yep.
trying to buy the drugs.
Yeah.
And the guy's like taking a hit out of the bong, and he blows smoke in Lucas's face. And he goes, "Whoa, I'm high as fuck."
Instantly high.
Instantly, like, and then He yells out. He keeps yelling at the fucking horn.
They had like an air horn going
had
off.
an air horn, and I thought that was so funny because I was like, "Yo, this kid's gonna like do something stupid."
Yeah.
And sure enough, he like spills the beans about Hannah. I died, bro. Like
But
that shit was so
like,
funny.
I like in that scene how, even before that scene, they're like, "Oh, but Lucas, we need you to go in there. You're the only one who looks like they're old enough to be in college."
Oh yeah.
And then, like, it was just like a random. I thought it was just gonna be like a stupid thing that they said.
Yeah.
But then when they're actually sitting there waiting for the dude to bring the drugs, like, man, who the hell sent these two kids? Except for you. I thought you were in my econ class, right? What's up, man?
He's like,
And he,
"What's up, bro?"
kiss bumps him.
Which side story? I actually we were at an NIU party, and this happened to me. We were at a party, and like this guy was like, "Oh, what's up? What's up?" And he's like, "Yo, you look familiar." And I was like, "Oh yeah, I mean maybe." And he's like, "Yeah, aren't you in my like whatever class?" And I
Yeah.
was like, "Oh yeah." He's like, "Yeah, you have the professor's name or
Like,
whatever."
yeah,
I
such and
ran
such.
with it. I was like, "Yeah, fuck it. Now I'm in this guy's class.
Yeah.
Now like we, if shit goes down, he's got my back.
Yeah, my guy's like, no, that's my boy from fucking
Whatever. Yeah.
Intro to Physiology.
Yeah, it was
No.
a great class. No, flying colors. No.
So easy to do well in a class you're not enrolled in.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, no, just little moments in the movie, and I feel like this isn't the type of movie where we talk about like the plot and stuff, which we kind of do, but like it was more so like just
The moments
the
between
moments,
the plot.
yeah.
Because there was that whole sequence where one of the girls was literally chasing them down, like they were on their bikes, and she got off and started running after them.
Yeah.
And she was like a fucking parkour badass.
She
all
really
of a
wanted
sudden,
those
too.
drugs,
Like
yeah.
she really wanted the drugs. And eventually the scene ends with Lucas going into like a park, what's it called? Like a bus bench.
Yeah.
And he like flies off his bike and lands on the fucking side of a truck, like a FedEx truck or something like that, you know?
Yeah.
And then he gets up, like, "Oh, I'm fine," and his arms all dislocated.
Oh, bro.
But like that right there was funny. So like people were already laughing, and then as soon as they were like calming down and like everyone was catching their breath,
Yeah.
she catches up to them, and then he was like, the driver gets out of the car. It's like, "Oh, what happened? Like, do you need help? Like, why aren't you looking where you're going?" And then Max is like, "Oh, we're running from a babysitter because she was trying to touch our penises."
Yeah. And then she's like,
And
"No,
she's
I
like,
wasn't."
What? No. And like, it was so perfect because and it's like one of those situations where, like, no matter what you say, like, they're
You're
not gonna
fucked.
believe you. Yeah.
Yeah.
So she just like runs off and dives into the car and leaves.
Yeah. She's like, "Let's get out of here." Yeah. That shit was so fun. Like, how does he think about that? Like, yeah, like you're right. They had a really funny joke. They're starting to settle down, and they just hit you with another joke.
Yeah, they make it funnier.
That shit was so funny. I'm telling you, man, the writers in this, like, they just knew how to, like, just keep it going. Like, it was so funny.
Hey man, Seth Rogen's been writing these kind of movies for like 12 years now, so he knows a thing or two.
Actually, I have in my notes here, I just want to go back to it. I wrote, as real as that divorce is, though, like, in reference to Lucas's parents,
Yeah.
how fake as fuck was Lucas breaking his arm? Laughing my ass off. Because then, like, okay, so then they, like, instead of, like, going to the emergency room, they go and, like, they try to do this, like, on their own and try to, like,
with like a wiki document on their
yeah,
phone.
like, try to, like, put his arm back. So it's like, oh, we just got to slam it back into something hard, you know? So then they slam him into this garbage can, and then he goes, that's the wrong arm. Like, bro. And then he's, like, popping his arm back in.
Yeah.
Like, they're so fucking
Even
dumb.
when they go to pop it back in, how they they put the ball gag on him.
Oh, yeah. They got the fucking sex.
The fucking gag, the sex gag on him.
Is that what it's called? The ball gag?
It's a ball gag.
Yeah.
It's a ball
just
and it gags you.
It's just like you strap it into your mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, so that shit was so funny, man. And there's just so many things. Like, again, we could go on for forever.
We could go on for the whole length of the movie.
Honestly, yeah. I don't know. How did you feel about the ending, though? Like, was it like, okay, so then they go through this whole shit trying to get the dad's drone.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, we didn't even talk about the drone.
That was a good scene within itself, too.
That was a good reference to, well, not reference, but it reminded me of The Sandlot,
Yeah.
how the kid steals the dad's ball.
And he's trying to get the ball back.
So then this kid steals the dad's drone or whatever, and then, they're trying, that's the whole premise of the movie, or, like, that's the whole goal of the movie. They're trying to get it back, right? I thought it was funny how, like, they already have the money,
right.
and they try to go and buy another one, and the girls already have the other one. Like, is that the only store that carries that drone, though? Like,
Yeah, it's like a top of the line drone, bro.
yeah, but, like, is it really that serious? And, like, you could tell the dad paid, like, $600 for it.
Right.
I mean, a $600 drone. Like, are you really gonna be that like upset?
Well, it's like it's not even. I think it's more of looking at it from the perspective of a 12-year-old.
Oh, that's true.
It's
Yeah.
like for them, like your world is you're fucking done.
Well, yeah, that's true. Because then, like, that's it. Like, you're grounded for a week, and that's the worst.
Yeah.
But if you if you remember when the dad was like reprimanding him,
Oh.
he was like letting him have it.
Yeah.
He's like, you know what? I love you because you're my son. But I really don't like you. Like,
Yeah, like, I don't like you anymore.
yeah.
And I like how he's like, everything fun is canceled. Summer is canceled. Holidays are canceled. It's like summer canceled.
Bro, you're just letting him have it. I forgot where I was going with that.
The drone and them flying the drone home was really funny.
That shit was funny, yeah.
They kind of get into like a Ferris Bueller type situation where they're trying to beat their parent home.
Yeah.
And Lucas is like, well, there's no way we'll ever get there in time. It's like, yeah, but you don't have to be there. Only the drone has to be there. And they thought they were smart shit. They're like, yeah, for sure. Like, we just fly the drone home.
Yeah.
And they get there, and then none of the windows are open. So it's like, oh, we got to go into the chimney.
Which right there is like really like
Yeah. You're really gonna go down the chimney.
Yeah.
And so props to them because the chimney was just big enough for the drone to go down, but the chimney's dirty, so the camera got fogged up,
right?
And they couldn't see anything. They said, no, I can do this. I know my house so well. I can do it with my eyes closed. And he's like going, and to his credit, he gets it on the charging station.
Yeah.
But he fucking
fucks
he
everything
tore
up.
Everything.
Bro, that shit was so funny because he's like, "Yeah, we did it," and then he just clips to like the house, and
it's just a
everything's
mess.
And yeah, that was a good scene actually. Yeah,
and then like his dad calls him, and he's like, "Dad, I love you." He's like, "Dad, I need you to say I love you."
No, and then right after that, there's like they all like they get in a big fight.
Yeah,
and they all like walk on their own,
But they live right
but
next
then
to
they live
each
right
other.
next. So one of them's across the street,
and the other one's walking a little bit behind the other one.
Yeah, that shit was so stupid.
And actually that part actually kind of surprised me a little bit when the dad called him and like he knew that it was just the kid's fault. Because I thought, as it was happening, I thought that the dad was gonna think that they got broken into and like their house got burglarized, like Thor had said in the beginning.
Yeah,
he's like, no, we just break a bunch of stuff and make it look like the house got wrecked.
And you thought they were gonna get away with it.
Yeah. And then I thought that like after all of that, at the end they were gonna end up getting away with it because they thought the house got wrecked.
Yeah.
But then they grounded him. So I don't know if he came clean or no, because the dad instantly knew. Right?
No, he just knew. Yeah, because he called him right away.
Yeah. Maybe.
But even then though, he was only grounded for a week. Oh, but then you're right.
It was a month.
Oh, it was a month. You're right. I'm sorry. Yeah. Because at the party he's like, yeah, I've been in the can for a month.
A whole month. Oh my god, that was so funny though. Go ahead.
Oh no, wait. What were you gonna say?
I'll hold it.
So going back real quick, besides them trying to get to this party and trying to be with the cool kids and like the whole drone thing, the main reason for them getting to the party was so Max could like kiss his future wife.
Right.
But if you think about it, bro, as a 12-year-old, like your future wife, come on, like that's.
I mean, that's. I feel like that's legit though. That checks out as a 12-year-old.
Yeah. Because this is like your first crush.
Like the first girl you like. You're like, I'm going to marry this girl,
And I thought it was so funny, like, throughout the movie, they give little, like, like, they show that these two kids are interested in each other.
Yeah.
So when, I think they were in choir or something, Max looks over at her, and she kind of looks at him, and he looks away. And then later on, he's explaining it to his boy, like, "Oh man!" Then I looked, and she looked, and I looked away, and she almost looked away, and we almost made eye contact for the first time.
One of these days, we're gonna make eye contact,
bro. I thought that was so funny because it's like nothing happened, but you're over here like head over heels.
Yeah.
But
what I was gonna say, it was really funny how he was grounded for a month, but in that month where they had the time lapse, he got broken up with 2 different times. And like was dating a new girl, so like he went through 3 girlfriends in a month,
bro. But the way they showed it was like him crying.
Well, like because the first one was like sad, like it was him like sitting like at the lunch table by himself, and the girl had left. He was like kind of quietly crying to himself, and then the other girl comes in, and then they're together. But then the next one, he's like straight up bawling like at the skate park.
Yeah. And then the girls are together.
They're together.
Yeah. That shit was so funny, man. Like, who would have thought Max was gonna be a player? You know, like
Oh my god, I don't
that
know.
shit was so funny, bro.
Is it really being a player if you end up crying every time they break up with you?
Well, that's true. Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
that's
man.
true.
That was really funny.
But even the end though, like at the party,
Uh-huh.
when they finally get to the party, it was still like funny. Like, you know, like you would think, oh, it's almost over. Like they're gonna wind down.
Right.
Like, no, they still like hit you with like those jokes.
Yeah.
Even when they're gonna play well, I was gonna say Circle of Death.
Spin the bottle.
Spin the bottle, yeah. Oh, well, even before that, because Thor has to redeem himself with the sips of beer.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So then they're calling him Sippy Cup, and he doesn't know how to open the beer.
He's just like smacking it.
Just, like,
He just gets lucky and it falls off eventually.
and then he like redeems himself, and he takes 4 sips, and he's the ultimate like fucking dude.
Yeah.
But then they play Circle
Circle
of
of Death.
Spin the bottle, and right away Lucas is like, all right, I'm out, this shit is gross.
Yeah.
Like he sees someone making out, it's like, nope, I'm gonna go upstairs and play VR. Like,
Yeah.
because I remember like those parties is like, if you were cool, like you stay with everyone or
Yeah.
you go do your own thing.
I like how they told him, it's like, if you go up there, you can never come back. It's like, oh no. And then he just leaves.
He doesn't give a fuck. Yeah.
Like, he just did not care.
Yeah.
The one thing that I did want to point out, and I really wanted to say this during the not spoiler part, but I couldn't because that was like
spoil it?
the main plot points.
Yeah.
How each of the kids had their own story as well throughout it, even though they were on a journey together. So like, Lucas, he was trying to cope with his parents are getting a divorce, and he was trying to, get over that. Thor was trying to get over how like he's trying to change who he is to fit in with the popular kids, even though he's not, he's not happy that he didn't sign up for
The musical.
the musical. And then Max, he's just kind of trying to, I don't know, like figure out his feelings, I guess, really.
Yeah, because he's like head over heels for this girl.
Yeah, and so like how
Oh well, no. Max's whole thing was he has to be more mature now.
yeah.
Okay, because now you're in 6th grade, like you got to do mature things.
Right.
Yeah.
And so like they all have like their thing and their motivation for going through everything, and like it plays into their characters and
Yeah.
makes them more well rounded outside of shit. We gotta get to the what's it called, to the mall.
Oh.
We gotta get to the mall so we can buy the drone so we can go to the party.
Right.
And I felt like it helped a lot and to make them full-fledged, make them feel like a normal kid,
Yeah. No, I agree. What I also did like, since they were all doing their own thing, they show it at the end, like after everything, after like the party, they show them doing their own thing and going their own ways.
Yeah.
So then, specifically, Thor becomes a singer, right?
Yeah.
Like he tries out, he makes it to the musical. That musical was pretty fucking dope, dude.
That was a dope-ass
That was a
musical.
dope-ass musical. Like he plays like this 80s rock star, and
Yeah.
like you see him like going to the bathroom, like doing coke, and like he's like ODing,
Yeah.
like, and then everyone's like, oh shit, And then like he has an after party, and then that's
Yeah.
when they all like meet up again. I thought that was cool how they all come from their different paths. And
Yeah,
they
I liked
hug it out.
the teacher, like the music
Oh, yeah.
teacher. He was like super into it. He was actually doing like lines of coke.
Yeah, he took a bump, and he's all sweaty and like
his whole fucking shirt was just drenched.
he was more into it than the kids. Yeah.
So I like that guy. He was only in
Yeah.
the movie for like 5 minutes, but he was great.
He's like, yeah, I got a lot of experience in Hollyweird or whatever. Yeah.
Hollyweird. Bitch. No.
But yeah, dude, that whole thing where like they meet up again and like they hug it out, and it shows like even though it's only been a month, like they're doing their own thing, but they're still gonna go back to like the Beanbag Boys.
Yeah.
That was pretty dope, dude. That was a good like wrap up to the movie.
Yeah, so like I feel like it had a good apart from being really crude and having all these like really funny moments. I think they had a good man. Seth Rogen's just getting good at that. He's good at having like a deeper like meaning and a deeper like character development underneath all the stupid random shit.
Mm-hmm.
Because like he did the same thing when we were watching The Long Shot, where they had that deeper plot about like women in politics and how like they have to put up with a bunch of scrutiny and all this stuff. And
You're right. Yeah.
how they have to like put up with like a bunch of sexism and like deal with all this stuff.
Meanwhile, there's a bunch of like stupid like smoking jokes.
Yeah,
and, like,
smoking jokes and like fart jokes and all
Yeah.
like typical stuff that you would expect from him.
Right. Right.
So I think he's really getting good at hiding like like little bits and pieces underneath all the randomness.
Yeah. Do you think that's why his movies are so good? Because like there is meaning behind everything.
I would like to think so, especially with the most recent ones. Like maybe I just have to watch it again, but I don't think there was anything deeper in Superbad. Like it was just
It was more of a coming of age.
Yeah.
Like with the teenagers transitioning into adulthood.
it was just kind of it is what it is.
But
you
it was
know?
still stupid as fuck.
And we're like I feel like these last two movies, they're like as raunchy and like the same type of comedy as Superbad,
Yeah.
but they still have that other story underneath.
Right. Yeah, no, I mean, I definitely liked it. Like that shit was funny as fuck.
Yeah, I mean, I say watch it. Like
Yeah.
if you want to go get drinks before you watch it, it'll probably make it that much better.
Oh yeah, you'll probably die. No,
Yeah, if you watch it at a theater where you can drink, shit, forget it. It's over. I don't know. Do you have any closing thoughts or comments?
Yeah. Pretty much. Yeah. Sometimes it's cool to watch like a mediocre film,
Yeah,
especially when there's so many like sex jokes in it. Because again, like this isn't like a freaking
not a high budget.
high budget like must see like
Yeah.
drop everything you're doing and pre-order your tickets. Like this was just a hey, this movie's playing, let's go watch it. And
Right.
it turned out to be really good. So yeah, I think no, that's pretty much it. Yeah, we covered everything that I wanted to talk about, but even the jokes that we missed, like I don't know, man. There's just so much shit that we, that
There's a lot.
There's
Like I
a
know,
lot.
like somebody who's watching this and had seen the movie already. They were
Yeah.
like, "Oh, bro, you guys didn't even talk about this. Like
Right.
you didn't mention this."
yeah,
But I think that's just a testament to how much stuff there's in this movie.
right.
That we did a whole episode talking about the movie and like parts that we thought were funny, and we could have left out a whole bunch of other parts that are hilarious.
I have a huge part that we left out right now that I'm just thinking like, yo, that shit was funny as fuck.
Ooh, what is it? You want to close with that
Do
part?
we have time? Well,
Yeah.
it was just like in the middle of the movie. It was like a quick like 5-minute scene, but that scene where like they're buying the drugs and
Yeah.
shit goes like hits the fan and he starts shooting everybody
Oh,
with
in
the
frat
paintball
house?
gun.
Yeah.
Bro, that was so funny. He's like, yo, get out of here. They just start shooting him. And it's like slow mo and like it's like
slow motion shots of shooting him in the balls. And
yeah,
like,
yeah. And then like Lucas, he like flips a guy over and like breaks the table, and then he's like, "I just killed a man, bro." Like what?
He's just freaking out.
Yeah, but no, again, like there's so many parts in the movie where we could just keep talking about. What would you rate this movie, man?
I think I don't know because like I enjoyed it so much, just the
Yeah.
watchability of the movie and like having a good time at it. But yeah, if I want to compare it to like overall super high quality movies, man, I think it's tough. I'd give it, comparing it against like everything, I'd give it like a C.
See?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
If you're just looking for a movie that you know you're gonna laugh, you're gonna have a good time, I think this is like a 9.
Yeah.
Like you're not gonna have a bad time watching this movie.
Yeah. That's the main
Yeah.
thing that you're gonna get.
Right. But if you
All
want
right.
to talk about like as a whole, like against all other movies, I give it a 7. So it still holds up. Like it's still a good movie.
Yeah. No, I agree. Damn. Okay, that's pretty good. All right.
What-
Yeah. There you go, guys.
What do you give it though?
Well, in my notes, I mean, I wrote overall, I give it 3 dildos out of 5, just because I think it worked better for it to kind of suck than for it to make.
Than to try to be something.
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah. You know, still the funniest movie I've ever seen since Superbad.
Yeah.
So, yeah, 3 dildos out of 5.
3 dildos out of 5.
Yeah.
That's basically a C, right?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, still passing.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Well,
Fuck it. You
Yeah.
passed.
yo, go watch. I was gonna say Superbad.
Go watch Superbad.
Go watch Good Boys. It's out in theaters today. If you see it, tune in to the second part of this episode. If obviously you have, if you're listening to this right now. But yeah, no, this has been another Trader Without a Radio movie review. I hope you guys enjoy these, and we're coming back with more. And right now we have a shirt giveaway.
Ooh, that's true.
Yeah.
We do.
So if you follow us on Instagram, Facebook, you know that you got to subscribe to our YouTube channel, take a screenshot, DM it to us, and that gives you entry to our shirt giveaway. This is 1 out of 1 shirt that we're making, so there's only one person in the
limited
world,
edition.
limited edition, that's going to be able to own the very first Trader Without a Radio shirt. I think that's pretty dope.
That's cool. When you sell it like that, shit, I want that. I'm gonna take a picture right now.
Wow. Imagine you're not even subscribed.
Oh, that's messed up.
Yo, thank you again, Renee. This has been Traitor Without a Radio. You already know how it goes. And yeah, tune in next week, guys.
All right, cool.
Cool.